how did you get this interest at such a young age, and how old were you then?
Well, I'm a fourth generation cowboy, so I got a lot of history. My great grandfather and all my great uncles, they were cowboys on the 101 Ranch up around Punk City, Oklahoma, and
now, is this on your mother's or your dad's side?
My dad's side.
Okay.
And they raised my dad, and my great grandfather Walter, he got into the racehorse business, and he started having my dad ride match races when he was 10 years old, and so Dad kind of went on into the racehorse business and started breaking running colts and stuff like that. And then, when he was a young guy, he started entering rodeos and riding bulls and bucking horses. And so when I come along, he was who I looked up to, him and his friends, and also my uncles. My uncle, who's my mom's brother, who's Butch Myers, he is a 1980 world's champion steer wrestler, and so, it's just all.
It was right in front of you then.
Yeah, it was pretty much all I was, that I was around my whole life. So.
When did you enter your very first competition?
The first one I entered, I was 5 years old in Camp Verde, Arizona.
And what'd you do?
I was in the calf riding.
In the calf riding?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you do?
I won it, yeah. I was pretty much hooked from then on. There was a two-header, and I was the only one to ride the first day, and they gave a buckle, and I wanted to win that buckle real bad. And so that next day, I rode my second one, which made me win it, and I got a buckle, and I got a check for $38, and I tried to give them the check back. What was a check? And then they kind of explained to me what it was, so I gave it to my dad and told him to go buy us a Winnebago and a CB, and we could hit the road.
On $38.
Yeah.
Yeah, when did you ride your first bronc in competition?
I believe I rode my first bareback when I was 12 and my first saddle bronc when I was 13.
Okay.
Right.
And your first bull?
I got on my first bull when I was 9.
When you were 9.
Yeah.
And it just meshed with you?
Well, it was kind of an accident. We entered a junior rodeo. Actually, it was a Little Britches rodeo, and it's supposed to be steer riding. And we showed up there, and it was bull riding. And Mom and Dad, they didn't want me to get on. And looking back, I understand why. But I begged them, and they let me get on this. It was really big bull. He probably weighed about 1,900, but he was just kind of an easy bull, and so they let me ride him, and I rode him, fairly easy, and boy, I really thought I was a bull rider after that. So.
Well, I guess.
I was too young, I was way too young to be doing it, but that's how it worked out, I guess.
Did you just bug your parents all the time to go compete?
Yeah, I guess I did pretty bad. Dad always kept a bunch of roping calves there at the house, and they said that I'd just beg them to get on, and them calves when I'd get home from school, like kindergarten, and Dad said I'd get on calves till he was too warm. He said I'd get on 10 or 15 a day, so till I about wore him out, I guess.
Now, saved your money and bought a bucking machine?
Yeah, that was when I was about 12, I guess. I worked for my dad. My dad was a starter at the racetrack in Santa Fe in the summertime. And so in the summer I worked for him flagging the races, and I saved all the money I made that summer and bought a bucking machine when I was 12.
And was that for you and your friends, or was that strictly for you, or how much?
Well, my friends got it, but my friends got on it, but yeah, I was getting it for me as a tool to practice with.
How much did you practice?
A bunch.
A bunch.
Yeah.
Kind of rubbed the inside of your legs raw, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I rode it till I'd make my legs. I'd take cardboard boxes and cut out the cardboard and put it on the inside of my shafts to keep my legs from bleeding.
Oh my heavens! And well, now, do you feel today that is how you learned to ride? Was on that machine and such? What I'm getting at is Ty, you won a lot of championships, and many people have said you're a natural. What's a natural? Is it somebody who practices a lot? Or
I think that, there's a recipe that nobody really knows what it is. I think it's a combination of a lot of things coming together. I think you got to have, obviously you got to have some talent, and like for me, I was built right for it, and
how tall are you, and what's your riding weight?
Like 5'8", 160.
Okay.
And I was built right for it, and I was strong, and I was flexible, and it was something that I really loved. I think that's a real big factor.
The passion involved for it.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that you'll find. It doesn't matter what you look at, what walk of life you look at. If you find somebody that excelled in a certain walk of life, usually, from my way of thinking, that the love for it is the one thing that all those people will have in common. Mm-hmm. And that, but I think there's got to be a lot of things that come together. I had the support of my parents, and I had them, telling me I was good when I was real young, and then you tend to believe that. And whenever you think you're good at something, naturally you like it more. And when you like something more, then it becomes easier to work at. Mm-hmm. And so those different things kind of feed off of each other, and
but your work ethic was also very hot, very strong, wasn't it? I mean, you really worked at it a lot.
Yeah.
You lived
Yeah, and that's easy to do when you really like something.
Mm-hmm.
It's whenever you really truly love something and have that passion for it, then I think it's easy to, because it doesn't feel like you're working at it. You're just doing something that
you enjoy.
You're just getting better at something that you really love. Mm-hmm. So, I've heard my whole career, people are always say, I can't believe the way you worked at it or the dedication that you had, but it didn't really seem like that really to me, because it was just something that I really wanted, and it was something that I really liked. So the amount of effort that I put into it, didn't really seem like a lot of sweat off my back.